This is a little more lighthearted than the other categories, I guess you could say. No rape, no abuse. Let's see, I should start with draw categories. So, in storytelling, I have 15 different stories that I have to know, and half an hour before I present a story to a judge, I have to draw a story to present. So I draw 3 stories and pick one of them, and it's a load of fun, because I never know what I'm going to tell next. Oh, it's bad. Okay. Everyone ready? Are you filming this, or are you just taking pictures?
Oh, I'm just taking a picture. It's really funny because you're looking right at the camera. Go ahead.
Okay. So last week in math class, you see, last week I got really sick. I was sneezing, I was coughing, I was puking, the whole deal. But last week in math class, I was sitting there, when suddenly I heard a voice say, "Hey, the answer to number 18 is A!" Obviously, it was just a fever, I'm sure. But this did remind me of some pretty silly situations from the story Talk, from Favorite Folktales from Around the World, edited by Jane Yolen. Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, there lived a farmer. And one day this farmer went out to farm some yams to bring to the market. But when this farmer went out, just farming my yams all day, all night, yams, yams, yams. "Hey, you never weed me, and now you're just gonna come out here and pick me? Go away!" Ah! Did that yam just talk? "Dog, did you talk to me? There's no one else around."
Why, no, it wasn't me that talked to you. It was the yam.
"Dog, why did you never talk to me before?"
Well, you see, I never had a need to.
"I don't like your tone." And so the farmer went to grab a branch from a nearby tree to hit the dog with. But the moment that he ripped this branch from the tree,
Put that branch down! Okay, I don't want any trouble.
and the moment he put this branch down, "Sir, can't you do that more lightly?" But he put it down on a stone, and the stone looked at him and said,
Take that branch off of me! Ah!
and the farmer began to run. It wasn't long before this farmer ran into a fisherman with his net. "What are you running from so fast?"
No, you don't understand. So I was out farming my yams when suddenly one started talking to me.
So I asked my dog, "Dog, did you talk to me? There's no one else around." And the dog said that it wasn't him, it was the yam that talked. So I grabbed a tree branch because I didn't like the dog's tone and I was going to hit him. But the tree yelled at me, and then the branch yelled at me, so I put the branch down on a stone, and then the stone yelled at me. I'm not crazy, I swear. "Really? Okay. You just need some sleep. Go home and get some rest." But the moment that he said this, his net looked at him and said, "Well, you would do the same too if things started talking to you." Ah! And he threw his net down and began to run with the farmer. It wasn't long, however, until these two came across a weaver. "Well, excuse me, boys, but why are you running?"
No, you don't understand. You see, things are talking to me. I'm not crazy, really, though. See, I was out in my field. A yam talked to me. So I was like, did my yam just talk? And my dog was like, yeah. And so I grabbed a tree branch because my dog was kind of rude. But then the tree yelled at me. And then the branch yelled at me. And then a stone yelled at me.
Really, he's telling the truth, because then when he told me, my net started talking to me. Really? Things are talking? Okay, you two must be sick. Just go home and get some rest. But the moment she said this, her bundle of cloth looked at her and said, "Well, what happened next? Did you take the branch off of the stone?" Ah! And she threw her bundle of cloth down and began to run with the men. It wasn't long before this trio came across a bather in the stream.
Why are you 3 running so fast? Are you chasing a gazelle? No, you don't understand. You see, I was out in my field when suddenly things started talking. A yam looked up to me and told me to go away. So then I was like to my dog, "Hey, did you talk to me?" Because there was no one else around, right? And the dog said, no, it was the yam. So I grabbed a tree branch because I didn't like the dog's tone. But then the tree yelled at me and the branch yelled at me, so I put the branch down on a stone. But then the stone started yelling at me. Really, he's telling the truth, because then when he told me, my net started talking to me. And then my bundle of cloth started talking to me. We're not crazy. Okay, you 3 need to go home and get some rest. It's obviously just the heat. But the moment he said this, the river looked up at him and said, "Well, you would do the same too if things started talking to you." Ah! And he jumped out of the stream and began to run with the 3. The 4 ran right into town, right up to the chief's door, and pounded on it. "Yes, would you like to talk to the chief?" Yes, it's very important."
more rushed in to talk to the chief. You see, the chief was very smart. He would know what to do. But he was also very old. And so his servant had to bring out a stool for him to sit on.
Now what are you here to talk to me about? You see, sir, we're not crazy. But I was out in my field when suddenly a yam started talking to me. Really, no, believe me. So I looked at my dog and I'm like, did you talk to me? Because there was no one else around. But the dog was like, no, it was the yam. So then I grabbed a tree branch because the dog was kind of rude. But then the tree yelled at me, and then the branch yelled at me, so I put the branch down on a stone, and then the stone yelled at me. We're not crazy.
Really, we're not, because then when you talked to me, my net started talking to me. And then my bundle of cloth.
And then the river started talking to me.
Really? Things are talking to you.
Sir, wake up. You need to go home and get some rest.
So they left. But the moment that they had departed, the chief's stool looked up at him and said,
Yeah, whoever heard of a talking yam?